Hello, everybody. My name is Stephanie Krapp. I'm head of program, and I wish you a very warm welcome to today's IPDET 2023 kickoff event. Good to have you all here. And the idea of the next 45 minutes to maximum 1 hour is that we present you the brand new 2023 IPDET program. And there's plenty of time where you can ask questions. So the main idea is that you clarify your questions you might still have if you're interested to participate in one of the events of the IPDET 2023 program. So let me give you an overview of what the program is all about in 2023. So we have the main program, the core program. Again, it's the on-site program at the University of Bern, and that will take place from July 10 to 21 this summer again. And we have a couple of online workshops on various topics, 4 online workshops from September to November. And for both programs, for the on-site program and the online program, we have scholarships available. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the details in a minute. We start today with the official kickoff, and we will close the program in November 14. We have, once again, a variety of interesting community building activities throughout the year. And we have, once again, a couple of very interesting global outreach activities we do in other regions of the world. And Laszlo will later explain a little bit about this. So the idea is that I present you and explain a little bit more the program, and you can already type in questions in the chat you might have. And Laszlo and Matthias can answer already a couple of questions, but we will also answer them after the presentation, and then you have still a little bit more time to ask some other questions directly here during the event. Okay, let's start with the IPDET on-site program. This is week 1 of the 2-week program. This consists of the core course on fundamentals of evaluation from July 10 to 14. And here you can see the instructors. This is Candice Morkel from CLEAR Anglophone Africa. This is Wolfgang Meyer and Reinhard Stockmann from the Center for Evaluation, and myself. We will conduct this core course once again this summer, and we will provide you a comprehensive overview of what evaluation is, how to do it, what are the different steps, and we will engage you very interactively, so you will not only have, of course, some input on contents, but you will directly work very practical with real case studies, and you will get engaged with each other. You interact with each other in small group activities, and there's a lot of time to work on the content very practically. So this is a very intensive week, and you please read in more detail what the learning outcomes of the core course are, because they are aimed at beginners in evaluation. So if you're already advanced and have a lot of experience in evaluation, you should not book the core course, because you already have the knowledge which is required to do evaluations. We would then recommend to check out the workshop offer we have, and then you can pick the content according to your needs. But if you're a beginner, or you want to refresh your knowledge, or you want to have a systematic overview and introduction to evaluation, then you should consider to participate in this core course in the first week of the on-site program. It will be a lot of fun, it will be very intensive, and it will be very interesting, because there are so many people coming together, sitting in the auditorium, working together. They're all from all over the world. They work in different organizations, in different positions. And you can imagine that you can learn a lot from each other in this big and a vital community. Well, if you have the possibility to stay the full 2 weeks, or if you have been awarded a scholarship for the on-site program, then you will stay 2 weeks. So this means that the second week, you can pick 2 workshops, because we have 2 sessions in the second week with 6 parallel workshops you can pick from. And this is the first session. You can see the 6 workshops. And it starts with qualitative research methods for evaluation with Anuprita Shukla. Then we have designing evaluations with Jos Wessem, communication and reporting with Alison Morgan and Joseph Mwanda, theory-based causal analysis with Estelle Raimondo, evaluation for social justice with Silvia Salinas Mulder, and evaluation at the nexus of environment and development. So now you might wonder why we have blue-colored workshops and yellow-colored workshops. This is dependent on the content of the workshop. So we have in the first week the core course on fundamentals of evaluation. It's only 5 days, so we cannot cover everything in detail. So the idea is that in the second week, you can deepen some content from the core course in a couple of those blue-colored workshops. So as you can see, qualitative research, designing evaluation, communication, these are all very important topics for all kinds of evaluation you are going to implement or commission. So it might make sense that you, after visiting the core course, you might pick one of those blue workshops, but not necessarily. You can also pick yellow-colored workshops, of course. You can see they are more specific regarding topics. We have, for the first time, we offer the topic on evaluation for social justice. We have another environment focus this year. And Estelle will teach, again, famously, the theory-based causal analysis, which is on more advanced level. So you really, really need to go on the website and check out the description of each workshop, because you need to make sure, is the content the right content for you and for your needs? And is the level on which the content is taught the right for you? So, like, for example, Estelle's workshop is on a rather advanced level. And the blue workshops, once again, are rather on basic or on fundamentals level. So each workshop is defined according to different levels. It can be basic, it can be intermediate, it can be advanced. So please make sure the content is the right one for you, and the level on which the content is going to be taught is the right one for you. And then check it out. And then, of course, you don't have to visit the core course in the first week, especially if you're not or if you're already an experienced evaluator. So you can only come to Bern in the second week and pick 2 workshops. And this is 1 workshop from the first session. And this is the second session. So there are another 6 parallel workshops where you can choose 1 from. And here you can see we have 2 blue ones, which means, once again, these are the core course consolidation workshops on rather fundamentals level. This is quantitative data collection with Stefan Silvestrini, and computer-assisted qualitative data analysis with Aria Haag. Then, of course, you can also choose the yellow workshops. And we have, again, developing M&E systems in organizations with Reinhard Stockmann and Wolfgang Meyer. Integrating machine learning and evaluation with Peter York. This is also a new workshop. Evaluation in the UN with Richard Jones and Vijaya Vadivelu. And we have another workshop on the topic of climate change, this evaluation of climate change and development with Sven Harten, Martin Nolze, and Dirk Hoffmann. So especially when you're interested in the topic of environment, evaluation in environment, of climate change and so on, you can pick those 2 workshops we offer in the context of those topics. And then you can focus on these topics, but not necessarily. As I said, you can pick a workshop in the first session, And then you pick a workshop in the second session, and you can choose from 6 parallel workshops in each session. And you can combine it with the core course, or you just come to the second week, and you can also only visit one of the workshops. So this is the on-site program. And of course, if you are in Bern for 2 weeks or even just 1 week, we also offer a couple of social events and activities. We have graduation dinners at the end of the week. We have on Wednesday afternoon, we provide the possibility that you engage in your topics and get feedback from your peers. And so there are a couple of activities we provide specifically for the purpose of meeting, exchanging, networking, and so on. So you can really take advantage of this rich variety of participants during these 2 weeks here in Bern. And if you choose the 2-week program, then we have a special asset. You will be able to participate on the Sunday in between the 2 workshop weeks. You can participate in the excursion to the Alps. It's a day trip, which is absolutely fantastic, and you will enjoy it. So once again, we have the program on the website. Please make sure the content you choose according to your needs and the levels. Everything is very well described in more detail. Now we have 4 online workshops. If you are not able to come to Bern this summer, you can choose from our online program. And these are the 4 online workshops we offer this year. This is Quantitative Impact Evaluation with Claudia Maldonado. This will take place from the 11th to 15th of September. Of course, it's not the full day because it's online learning and online teaching. So there are synchronous and asynchronous sessions, but you need to have time from Monday to Friday. But Claudia will explain then in more detail then when you meet, what other tasks you would have to do in between. So it will be very intensive, but of course it will not be online all the time. Then we have 25th to 29th of September, a new online workshop on sampling with Wolfgang Meyer. In October, 16 to 20, once again, digital analytics for monitoring and evaluation with Claudia Abroy Lopez and Callum Handforth. And the final one is also a very famous workshop from the 6th to the 10th of November, developing national evaluation systems in the public service with Matochi, Michelle Amizi, and Ian Goldman. So of course you can participate in all of those workshops, or you just pick one of them and maybe come back next year and visit our on-site program. So very important for all the offers I just explained, for the on-site and the online workshops, we offer scholarships thanks to the financial support of the Global Evaluation Initiative Trust Fund. The application for the on-site scholarships ends on April 3, so you need to hurry up. The coverage of the scholarship is a 2-week tuition fee. So this means you will participate in the core course and the 2 workshops in the second week. And this means, as I explained before, because the core course is on fundamentals of evaluation, the scholarship aims at beginners and those professionals who want to refresh their knowledge in evaluation. So if you are already advanced, it does not really make sense to apply for the scholarship because you would not need to participate in the core course. But if you want to refresh or need some systematic knowledge in evaluation, or you're a beginner, then of course go ahead and apply. In a minute, I will talk about who is eligible to apply. But what is included is also the full board cost. So this means you receive all the meals during the week and you're accommodated in a student's house. Please also be aware, the student's house is a student's house. It's not a hotel. It's a nice, freshly renovated student house. It is a 5 to 7 minute ride by train from the university campus. It's a nice train ride. Our participants always have a lot of fun going together on the train and back and forth. So it's not a problem at all. You will receive also a ticket which allows you to travel around Bern. But you need to be aware it's a basic accommodation. It's clean, it's nice, you have your own room, but you might need to share the bathroom with another person. And it's, as I said, 5 to 7 minutes train ride to the campus. So please check the website and check out also the description of the student house. It might not be suitable for everybody. Now, the requirements. Who is eligible for applying for a scholarship? You need to be a national or a resident of a low income, lower middle income, or upper middle income country. And we have published a respective country list on our website under the on-site scholarship section. So please check those country lists and see if the country where you live in and where you're from is on this list, and then you are in principle eligible. Of course, we have a limited number of scholarships we can award. So those of you who do not have any other funds available to participate in the on-site program, and you're from one of those countries, then you can apply. You should not apply if you can pay yourself or if your organization can pay the tuition fee and so on. Also, please be aware you need to finance the travel yourself. It's a partial scholarship, it's not a full scholarship. So you need to find your sources yourself to pay for the travel. Check out all the details on the website. You need to provide and upload a CV and a recommendation letter from your employer. If you're self-employed, you need to write your own motivation letter, but you need to have those documents ready before you start applying in our registration, in our application tool, because you need to upload it during this process. So talk to your employer. He or she should write a recommendation letter, and you should make very, very clear in this letter why you should participate or why you should be awarded a scholarship, and for what use is this for the organization when you're coming back from the IPDET program. How will you use what you have learned later on in the application, in your work, in your organization or in your country? So these are this is the coverage, the requirements of the on-site scholarship. Please go ahead, spread the word. We have quite a lot of possibilities. Of course, you need to be in principle eligible, and you need to have this recommendation letter very well written and designed in a way that we understand for what you're going to use the knowledge later in your work. So this is really important. And then you have pretty good chances to be awarded a scholarship. So go ahead and and try it. Then we have the online scholarships. We award those for participating in one of the 4 scholarships. You can pick for which one. Application deadline is May 21, so there's still a little bit time because the online workshops take place in the second half of the year. Coverage of the scholarship is tuition fee for participating in one of those online workshops. And again, the requirements are the same as for the on-site scholarships. So again, check out the website if you are eligible, and then I recommend to apply immediately. And you can do it in the following way. So you go to our website, ipdet.org, and there's a section My IPDET, and you follow the apply for the program, and then you just do whatever the system tells you. What is important to note is that you cannot apply as self-payer and for a scholarship at the same time. So either you apply for a scholarship, and that also tells us that you cannot finance your participation yourself. If you can finance your participation yourself, then you should only apply as self-payer. You can also not apply for an on-site and an online workshop at the same time. What is possible is later, if you have been rejected for an on-site scholarship, then of course you can decide if you have other funds available, then you can apply as self-payer in the on-site program, and you can still apply until May 21st for an online workshop, but only if you have been rejected for the on-site program. Here you can see, again, the application deadlines for on-site. Self-payer is May 31st, so there's still a little bit more time. For the on-site scholarship, very soon, deadline is approaching, April 3. For online self-payer we have various deadlines depending when the workshop is happening. You can see it here. And for the online scholarships, May 21 is the deadline to apply. So don't miss those deadlines and the chance to be awarded a scholarship. What else? Now, I explained a little bit about the on-site program, the online workshops, but we have also a little bit more to offer. We, as IPDET, we also have the aim of improving, of strengthening the evaluation community, and especially the IPDET evaluation community. So we have the so-called IPDET Cosmos in place. It's a place to exchange, a virtual place to exchange. Everybody can register. It can be used on any device, also as an app on your cell phone. There are various functions, and it will serve, if you participate in the on-site program, it will serve as the official communication tool while the program is going on. So if you want to take part in communication, if you want to receive news from IPDET, if you want to share something, if you need advice on something, you should register in the IPDET Cosmos and participate in the communication. What we also offer on the IPDET Cosmos is the meeting Mondays, we call it. So once a month on a Monday, we meet whoever wants to participate and talk about a specific topic. And Vanessa, who's responsible for organizing this, she's setting up the meeting Mondays. She's asking in advance what would be interesting topics you want to talk about with others. We do not provide any input. So it's really basically an exchange platform on that topic on that specific Monday. You can suggest and vote your topics. You can explore those, exchange. It's also open to anybody, but it's organized on the respective Monday. Check it out on the website under IPDET community section. So now I hand over to Laszlo, and he will, and he will conclude the IPDET program with explaining a little bit about the so-called IPDET global outreach activities we also offer. And then after that, feel free to ask some more questions, and we hope we can answer them all. But first, let's hear what Laszlo is going to tell us about global outreach.
Yeah, okay. Hello, everybody. I can see, well, let's check if you can see my slides. Yeah, Zoom says you can see my slides, so I'm pretty happy. Thank you very much, Steffi, and a very warm welcome from my side as well. And I'm pretty happy to see some names of former participants in the chat as well, and participants from last year. So happy to see you again. My name is Laszlo. At IPDET, I'm mainly responsible for the coordination of our IPDET global outreach activities. And today I'm going to give you some details on our upcoming events we are doing at the end of March. So in a couple of weeks in Sri Lanka, better policy making through evaluation. It is a training for parliamentarians and parliament research staff in Asia Pacific region. And the training is in cooperation with Asia Pacific Evaluation Association, the Global Parliamentarians Forum for Evaluation, and the Asia Pacific Parliamentarians Forum for Evaluation. So this training we are going to do builds up on a virtual training we were doing at the end of 2021 with around 60 participants in 6 online sessions. Very important to mention is that as a direct result of this training, the Asia Pacific Parliamentarians Forum for Evaluation was founded also with the contribution of some of the participants. And here you can see how it went, our event in an online setting with people from the Asia Pacific region. And the feedback of this training was quite positive. So, for example, more than 90% wanted to recommend the training to others, or almost 90% were very satisfied with the training overall. And what we can see from the quote above is also that the experience sharing between participants and contributors of the training was very useful, and indeed will be, of course, very useful also then in the on-site program when we can meet in person. So then we are coming now to the upcoming event, end of March. So as overall objective for the event, we defined the following. So we would like to draw attention to the usefulness of evaluation results for parliamentary work. We would like to deepen and expand the knowledge gained in the first virtual workshop series for those who already participated. And then not least with the overall aim of leaving evaluation not only as an administrative tool to the executive branch, but also to use it for legislative purposes. So the main objective of the training will be on the use of evaluation for evidence-based decision-making. And the event will take place between 27 and 30 March in Colombo, Sri Lanka. And we are expecting around 40 to 45 participants from all Asia Pacific region, of whom around 40% will be women. Yeah, regarding the content, we will start on Monday, 27th of March. So after an official opening, the first topic concentrates mainly on awareness raising. So we will address in the first topic the overall questions of how evaluation can actually support the work of parliamentarians, taking in mind the central task of parliamentarians like making laws and policies, approving budgets, etc. And we connect a short input here with a panel discussion to get more insights into the reality of the participants' countries and how evaluation is implemented and used there. For the second topic, we dive more into more technical issues, focusing on the central purposes evaluations can serve in the framework of parliamentary work. So we will focus on, for example, leading principles and concepts of M&E, like different perspectives, for example, ex ante or ex post evaluations, concepts like formative or summative evaluation, quality criteria for evaluation reports, and so on. And for this, we combine short inputs with several group works to let participants use their newly gained knowledge in practice. In the last topic, we even focus much more on the work of parliamentarians, as we want to help them to impart the ability to use evaluation evidences for their work and to formulate evidence-based questions. So this is essential because, for example, or parliamentarians and parliament staff, they need to know how they can obtain information regarding political strategies or government plans. Then second, how they can play an active role in parliamentary debates based on this information. And third, then finally, with this in the end, to fulfill their oversight function as a parliamentarian. And this all based on evaluation and or scientific evidences. And again, here in this model, we will combine theoretical inputs with group works. In this session, this will be mainly role plays we are going to do, so to simulate actual discussions and debates in the parliament. And on the last day, on Thursday, we will go to the Parliament of Sri Lanka to have an experience sharing session. and based on two presentations, first on the institutionalization of evaluation at the Parliament of Sri Lanka, and second, the institutionalization of evaluation in the Asia-Pacific region. We will have a discussion to share experiences between the participants and also members of the Sri Lankan Parliament. Yeah, so far, so good. In case you have any further questions regarding IPDET Global Outreach, you can raise it afterwards in the chat, or right now also in the chat, or you can also contact me via globaloutreach@ipdet.org. And with this, thank you very much for your attention, and back to you, Steffi.
Thank you very much, Laszlo. So now you have the full picture of the 2023 program, including the on-site program, online workshops. We have community building activities, and we have some global outreach activities going on. So I just checked the chat, the questions in the chat. I think from my perspective, everything has been answered, what has been written in the chat. Are there any other questions? And you might just raise your hand because we are not too many people, so it would be cool if you would just raise your hand and just ask your question directly to us, so you don't have to write it again if there are still some open questions. Yeah, Niraja.
Hi, thank you so much for the session. Doc, you had clarified my doubt in the chat box, but just to follow up to that, you said a motivational letter would be sufficient. But then apart from that, should we also get like a recommendation letter from a professor or supervisor if we are a current student, or a motivation letter would suffice?
I think you can either or, right? If you think, oh, there's a professor, he knows me very well, he can put down his arguments very nicely, and it makes a lot of sense that he would write the letter because he can explain very good why you should participate and why it would be advantages for you to participate, then he should write it or she should write it. But also for independent consultants or like for students, it is sufficient to write a motivation letter where you describe in a way, thinking like, okay, I want to participate in IPDET because and it concerns you as an individual, but it mainly also concerns like the work environment or what you are aiming for in working later on. Maybe your engagement in an evaluation association in your country. So you might also think about what else is benefiting, who else or what is benefiting, is coming out as a positive impact when you participate in IPDET and going back to your country. So that is something you should really try to lay out and explain a little bit more in detail.
Sure, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Any other question? Do not see any. Good to see some familiar faces.
I think Fidelis and Gansorik are raising hands.
Ah, yeah. Fidelis, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Steffi. So my question is just around the on-site module. So from what I see, I went to the fee structure page of IPDET, and so I want to know, this fee, is it for 2 courses or for 1 course? Because I see for week 2, for someone who just wants to attend week 2, for example, week 2 workshops. So is the 3.5, for example, for 2 courses or just for a single course? Thank you.
I'm not sure if I got it correctly. You're asking about the fees, right?
Yes, the fee structure, because I see in your website, so there is a section which says only week 2 workshops, and then they say 2 workshops. So these 2 workshops, do they refer to 2 courses or just 1 course?
No, it's okay. The first week you can buy the core course in the first week, which lasts from Monday to Friday. So this comprehensive core course on fundamentals of evaluation, it consists of 7 modules, but it's a program which you participate in from Monday to Friday in the first week. And this is one price. And then in the second week, you can choose if you want to stay the full week in the second week, then you have the possibility to participate in 2 workshops. And then you pay the price for 2 workshops, which is a little bit more cheaper than 2 times 2 workshops. So you can choose whatever you want. If you choose 2 workshops, then you pay the price for the second week, but you can also choose only 1 workshop, and then you pay just for 1 workshop. Monday to Wednesday, yeah, maybe that is all, yeah, Matt is just giving me a sign that maybe I should explain that again. So the first workshop lasts from Monday morning to Wednesday, 12 o'clock. So it's 2.5 days. You can choose only to participate in one of those workshops in this first session from Monday to Wednesday. And then we have the second session of workshops. This workshop session lasts from Thursday morning to Friday evening. And that's the second part. And if you choose the whole week in the second week, then you pay the week price. And the week price includes 2 workshops. Does that make sense for you?
I think it makes sense. So it means I can, for example, choose the theory-based causal analysis course and say developing M&A systems in organizations.
Is that I don't have it in front of me. Is that in a different session? You can only choose 1 workshop in 1 session.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's one workshop. The theory base is in session 1 of week 2, and the developing M&A system is week 2, session 2.
You're right. Yeah.
Okay.
Great. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. This combination is possible. Yeah.
Okay.
Always great. 1 workshop from session 1 and 1 workshop from session 2, and then you have the full week, and then you pay the week price. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Was there anybody else? Cannot see.
It was me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah.
I'm from Mongolia, and I work full-time at the Mongolian University of Life Sciences. And at the same time, I'm a board member of Mongolian Evaluation Association. So for the recommendation letter, should I take the recommendation from my university or the dean of my school, or should I take a recommendation from the board leader of the association, or both of them?
No, I think I also would think about who can provide more in-depth information and can base the recommendation on argumentation. How much of use would this scholarship be for you and for the organization you're working in? Now you're working in the university. Are you working in the context of evaluation in that university?
I teach the course on cost-benefit analysis.
Yeah. So the dean would be probably very happy if you would be awarded a scholarship and that you can participate in IPDET, come back and use this acquired knowledge somehow also for the university, but also for the evaluation association, of course. Yeah. So it should, I would recommend in that sense, I would say go ahead and ask the dean, and but also make sure that you provide information on your engagement in the evaluation association, which is also quite important.
So it sounds like you're both of them.
Yeah, no. No, just go ahead and decide yourself. Important is, it doesn't matter if it's the dean of the university or if it's somebody from the board of the evaluation association. most important is what is written in the letter. So if the dean can explain why it's important that you participate in IPDET and what will you do with the acquired knowledge when you are back at your workplace, that would be great. If you think that it's more important to show to us that you will use the acquired knowledge for strengthening the evaluation association, then the letter should be from the evaluation association, because it's a very strong actor in the field of strengthening evaluation in a country. And then you should make that very, very clear. But don't provide 2 letters, but just make sure that you explain why it's important, for whom that you participate, and what you will do with the letter back home, for who is benefiting from that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Anybody else? Any question?
No hands raised, no question in the chat, no.
Okay, yeah, just make sure you have those letters ready. You have the CV. I think we require 2 pages. Make sure you read really very carefully our description on the website on the scholarships, and then be sure to have those documents ready, and then start applying in the system, and then you upload those documents directly in our tool.
Can I ask you a very short question, please?
Sure.
Okay, so I was wondering to have kind of maybe a cover letter or something, the letter written by myself, applicant, because the applicant can like write what is the benefit of the things. But is this the system, registration system, maybe asking those questions already in the system, registration system or application system?
Yeah, there are exactly. When you start your application, there are some questions on why do you want to participate in IPDET and so on. You can keep that short, because for the scholarship, it's really important to have this formal recommendation letter, and it should ideally not be written by yourself, but it should be written either, as we said, by your employer or by somebody else from the board of the association. Only if you're self-employed, because you don't have any organization you're working in, then you write your own motivation letter. But it's important to have your employer or from the evaluation association explaining who is going to benefit also from what you will acquire in the training. So that's different from the questions we are asking you personally in the registration tool.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
There is another hands raised, and because there was also, or I wrote it also in the chat, please provide all the documents in English, please, and not in other languages. So either the motivation recommendation letter and the CV. And there's another hand raised.
Yeah.
Yes, it's me. Hi, thank you for the information. And my question is maybe similar with the previous one, but my case is I'm an individual consultant, work as sometimes an individual evaluator. So in that case, can I or should I provide my motivational letter and along with the reference letter from our country's evaluation association?
No, if you have a letter from the evaluation association, this is sufficient. Then I would really recommend use this recommendation letter, and then you do not need another own motivation letter. So one recommendation letter is sufficient, and if the association can provide this letter, this would be perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Because it already tells us that you are linked with the association, and evaluation association should play a big role in further developing evaluation capacities in a country. So they have a highly important role in the country. And that's why it's also important for us to see if you're engaged in an evaluation association. Anybody else? Good. Great, thank you for your questions, and we hope we could clarify a little bit, and we're looking forward to receiving your applications, either for scholarships or as self-payer. And if you have questions, don't hesitate asking us. And yes, we will share the recording of the meeting to catch up, definitely, Ernest. That is not a problem at all. And we will share it on the website and on social media and in our newsletter, I guess. If you want to receive and you have not registered for our newsletter yet, I would recommend to do so. You can find the link on our website because then you will get timely information on what is going on with IPDET and on other things. But anytime if you have questions, contact us. Or if you have problems, and we're looking forward to receiving your application and hopefully then see you in Bern or in one of the online workshops.